participants, welcome back. Session 14 will be on Advanced Visual Analytics. Now, I would like to request our resource person, Mr. Prashant Ahuja, to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Welcome back, everyone. This session basically is advanced basic visualization, as ma'am just mentioned, but we still have one parameter remaining, so we'll do that as well. So let's begin. Let me share my screen. Ma'am, can you please allow me to share the screen?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. Before that, I saw one question from Priya ma'am. Priya ma'am, could you please type in your question again, because I missed that and now I cannot see it any longer. So that I can answer it and we can begin with the last parameter. I think it was from Priya ma'am. Ma'am, could you please answer? Could you please ask your question? Yeah.
All these analysis will be shown on dashboard. Where do we actually display it as we may not give Tableau to use all the users like managers? This is a question she asked, sir.
All the analysis will be shown in the dashboard. Where do we actually display it, as we may not give Tableau to all the users like managers? So ma'am, whenever you deliver the results to any manager or your clients, uh, you will not give the dashboard. Now let's understand the features of Tableau and the versions on Tableau. Whenever you deliver a Tableau file, the reader, the audience, the client should have Tableau reader installed in their systems. The Tableau reader would allow them to see all the analysis. Now, as I'm working on Tableau Public, some of you are still working on Tableau Client 10.1, 10.2, 10.3 versions. So there are different versions and different versions for various depending on the usage. You will not be able to open the Tableau file in any computer until and unless you have a Tableau reader installed. So when you save the dashboard, when you send it to your audience, if they do not have a Tableau reader, they will not be able to see it. Once you prepare a dashboard, you will have to send it to them and request them to download Tableau reader so that they can see it. In the reader version, they will not be able to make any changes to your dashboard. But if they're already using a paid version with the Tableau client 10.1, 10.2, 10.4, 10.6, they will be able to see the calculations which you have done in the backend. So I hope I answered your question, ma'am. Great. Uh, Suhasini ma'am has asked me, sir, can you please repeat the format option? Okay, not a problem. I'll just do that. Let's go to running total. Uh, all we need to do is just to go to this small arrow, go to format, and in the left hand side of the screen, this window would come up wherein you would be given an option to format. Let's say you can add various shading, you can do the alignment, center, top line, automatic, vertical alignment. And here in this option, you would be given an option to reduce the decimal places, very similar to what we have in Microsoft Excel. Just go to number customs, reduce the decimal places or increase as you want. And that's how you do this basic calculation. Any more questions from anybody of you? Suhasini ma'am, did I answer your question well? Great, thank you ma'am. Any more questions, any more queries? It's great that you're asking up and I'm really enjoying answering to your queries. So any more, I absolutely welcome the queries before we begin the last parameter and the advanced visualizations. Are you all doing it simultaneously? Because this is something very important, and if we miss on these things, I understand that it is difficult to follow up later. So if you're doing it right now, it's the best thing to learn and retain in your minds. Yeah, okay. So let's begin with the, okay, can these outputs be embedded in websites? Ma'am, this is a dashboard which you have created. Now, dashboards can be embedded into websites. It can be embedded into portals. So depending upon what the usage are, you might have seen various websites wherein you have an option to create interactive formats. Let's say COVID-19 org, various other websites. they are very interactive. When you see news channels like Aaj Tak and NDTV, they display various features which are very interactive. Which, when you click on mouse, share CNBC, Awaz 80, CNBC, News 80, very interactive way of problem solving. I think majority of them use visualization software. So yes, these can be embedded into websites. These can be embedded into portals. Great. I think it's time for us to move to the last parameter. This is something tricky, but if you ace it, this is the best thing to do. Most difficult yet very impressive way of uh, creating a visualization in one single chart with multiple measures, giving the user an absolute advantage by the click of his mouse, whether or not he wants to see a particular measure. So I'll show you what we want to create, and then we will learn what we will create. So look at this particular chart here. Now, these are product subcategories: appliances, binders and binder accessories, bookcases, chairs, computers. Right now, if you see here, in this drop down menu, the profit figures are being displayed here. If you click on discount, in the same chart, the chart gets changed to the discount figures. If you click on the sales, the chart gets updated with the sales figure. So the idea here is to create only one single chart and to introduce an option wherein the user can navigate between multiple measures. How do we do that? This is another parameter, a little tricky, a little attention worthy. So let's learn how to create this parameter. This will again involve a lot of formulas. So uh, anybody who's interested in coding, it should be very simple for you. But again, it is a simple formula, so not a lot of association with coding. It's like the if-then formula we used. There, here we're going to use the case-when formula. But before that, we'll create a parameter. We will name this parameter as profit sales discount. The reason I'm creating this parameter, naming this parameter profit sales discount, is because I want to give the users an option to choose either of these three fields on the same graph and not make three different graphs uh, on a dashboard. So this time we will not use integer, we will use string values, and we will go to list. We have three major values in our database: profit, sales, and discount. What we're going to do, we're going to tell Tableau whenever we are going to input profit value in the drop down menu, you should display is at profit. Whenever my field I'm choosing is sales, you should display is at sales. When I'm inputting the value discount, you should show discount. The reason we're doing this is probably you must have understood that profit could be named as, let's say, top line. The sales could be named as the revenues. Discounts could be named as, I don't know, various promotional incentives given to customers. But right now, for the ease of our understanding, I'm naming them as is: profit, profit, sales, sales, discount, discount. Again, make sure this is case sensitive, no spelling errors, because if we commit spelling mistakes, Tableau would not understand the field you're referring to, and it won't give you the analysis which you're looking for. So we need to be careful about the cases and the spellings. So we created a parameter called profit sales discount. We introduced a string value. We said that whenever I input the value as profit, you should display as profit. Whenever I input the value as sales, you should display sales. And whenever I display value as discount, you should input discount. And this parameter already exists because I created before the session. So you will see profit sales and discount is already there. And I right click it and say show parameter control. And now you see this drop down menu showing profit, sales, and discount. Right now it's not functioning because we haven't linked anything to this particular parameter. Right? what we're going to do is now create a calculated field so that we link this parameter to the field and eventually form a conclusion. How do we do that? Go to this small arrow once again and create a calculated field. Now let's say this as profit, sales, and discount calculated field, right? And you can name it anything basis your convenience. This won't be shown to the end user, so you could name it anything. Now just try to understand here why we are creating a parameter and a calculated field. So that case, why is this used? Case formula. Case is something which will tell Tableau that which parameter are you referring to. So when you type in case, you need to give the name of the parameter. In our case, the parameter is the profit sales discount, which is appearing on the right hand side of the screen. So we say case, and if you type in certain figures, you see the profit name discount parameter coming in. So you say case profit sales discount, which means that I am referring for the calculation I'm going to do next to this particular parameter, which I have already created and which is shown up in the right hand side of the screen. So now I say when. Now initially, while creating the manager's field name, we created a field called, we use a function called if, then, else, then, end. Here we are going to use when and then. So when in the brackets, I say when profit. What does this mean? That I'm telling Tableau that when I choose profit word from the drop down menu, then you should give me the profit field. Now this should come without any double quotes because right now I'm tagging the profit field here. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. When profit, then I tag the profit field. When sales, then I tag the sales field. And in the last, I do not need to tag anything. I would say else. The third is remaining is discount. And then I say end this function. And Tableau tells me that the calculation is valid. I will repeat case, the name of the parameter, case profit sales discount. I ask Tableau that when I choose in double quotes profit, which means the field I'm referring to in the drop down menu, when profit, then I will tag the profit field. When profit, then the value, the field profit. When sales, then the sales field. Else discount, because this is the third field of the three, and Tableau already knows what we are talking about. You click OK, and you see that this field is created. Profit sales discount calculated field. Nothing much to do now. You just what we did here was by product category. Let's do the same. Let's go to a fresh sheet. Let's choose product subcategory and let's choose profit sales discount. Where is the field? Yeah, sorry. Let's choose product subcategory and let's choose profit sales discount calculate field now, because we are working with this particular measure wherein the formula has been applied. And now let's create a chart from the show me chart. Let's choose a bar chart. Let's convert into a horizontal chart. And here you see, let's just increase the width. Is the profit figures. Now, if you choose discount, is the discount figures, and also put this up in labels. The labels would all in the drop-down menu. If you choose profits, the item of profit would appear. If you choose discounts, the item of discounts would appear. And if you choose sales, item of sales would appear. All in the same graph. You can give a user a very impressive way of creating a visualization wherein you do not need to create multiple charts, but one single chart with an option to help him or her understand the users and help him or her to get the analysis with the minimum possible visualizations. So this is the last use of a parameter, creating multiple, creating a single chart and giving the option to use various multiple measures. So this could be difficult. Anybody of you want me to repeat this? I'm happy to repeat this. But if you're all clear, we can move ahead with the advanced basic visualizations. So just type in from the chat box if you're clear or if you want to repeat this. Any queries? Any questions? Should I repeat? Should I move on? Clear, sir. Great, ma'am. Anyways, this session will be recorded, and I hope the previous sessions you would be receiving the YouTube videos. So, in case you're not clear and in case you want to follow up next, you could just refer to those. And in case it's something that you want to know more about, you can just okay. So great. That was an interesting first start with all of you. Let's move to advanced visual, you know, advanced visualizations. Now, what is this advanced visualizations? Now, I'm assuming that all of you are very well aware of the basic visualization techniques which you have studied in your previous sessions with different resource persons. This time, I'm going to discuss with you the certain advanced visualizations, certain 2D, 3D charts, certain things which will help you to analyze more stuff in a simple manner and an effective manner. So I would say that there is a combination of 3D charts, a combination of multiple ways to analyze small things. So let's learn how to create those 3D charts. Uh, in the beginning, I would say very simple thing. It's a 3D chart. It's a scatter plot diagram. It's a scatter plot chart which shows different values on x-axis, different values on y-axis, and eventually populate your product subcategories. And let's see what kind of analysis we get out of it, and let's learn how to create it. Let's choose product subcategories. Let's choose sales, and let's also choose profits. So you see that there are profit, there are sales for each product categories. In the show me tab, just choose the scatter plot chart. You see it's being updated. Now, what if we want to refine it further? What if we want to refine this chart? I'll minimize the participants list, and you should no longer see the gray boxes. Sorry about that, ma'am. Now what we need to do is we need to convert into circles. Let's increase the size of the circles. And now let's also just drag and drop the product subcategory into labels. Now, what is this item telling you? Now, if you see this chart, you see that the sales are on the x-axis and the profits are on the y-axis. So higher the sales and higher the profits are the best way, are the best particular category for any company. Lower the sales, lower the profits are an alarming thing for certain companies, for certain businesses. This type of visualizations very clearly tell a person, a management, a chief executive, a client that what they want to do next. Very clearly, they can see that telephones and communication accounts for high sales and high profits. So good job done, brilliant job done. Can we look to, increase the potential of this particular category into more markets? Can we just align our resources increase the sales for telecommunication and telephones and communication, considering the high sales and high profits. Hey, but what about pens and art supplies? What about scissors? What about lasers? They account for low sales and low profits. Why am I still selling those? Should I discontinue these? Should I rather invest the time and money I'm spending on this particular category to maybe these categories so that I'm in a better position as a company? So this kind of analysis definitely helps you to pinpoint these gray areas to get the management into action and to take these decisions. I will quickly repeat how we created this chart. It's a very simple chart. Go to product subcategory, go to profits, go to sales, and then just create a scatter plot chart. Go to circle so that these uh, you know round figures are converted to full circles. Increase and decrease the size as you want to see. In the labels, just drag and drop the product subcategory, and there you go. There the analysis is very useful, very intelligent way of displaying a particular the situation of the company. So that was one scatter plot chart which I wanted to discuss with you. Let's move to the next one. I'll just delete the extra sheets. Yeah. Uh, okay. So now let me discuss a geographical map. Now, in your last session, I do understand you learned how to create a geographic visualization. Now, what if we want to take this geographic visualization to a next level? What if we want to make it further rich analytically? What if we want to introduce more elements to the same chart and rather give a picture which is even more bigger, even more brighter, and displays you the a lot of analysis in one particular small chart? How do we create this dual chart? You see that there are pie charts in the geographic map. How do we do that? Now, if you carefully observe what this chart is displaying, uh, there is a state United States chart. Within those states, there are pie charts. The pie charts are smaller and bigger. They aren't of the same size. All of the pie charts are uh, displaying certain things. So it's a lot of analysis. It might get confusing for some, but for extremely brilliant heads, it's the very useful way of looking at things. uh, what is this chart showing? The size of the chart is showing the sales in that figure, in that state. So bigger the pie chart, highest is the sale in that state. So New York, so California, the biggest pie represents the highest sales. New York, a little smaller pie, the second highest sale, and these North Dakota and Montana and various other states which are very small pie, which means they are Nevada, which are very light in terms of our potential market. And within those sales, we can see that in California, technology is accounting for around 45%, and furniture is accounting for 55%. So that's the split of the product categories in the pie. So let's learn how to create a multi 3D chart and to do a lot of analysis from one particular single figure. Let's go to a fresh sheet. You all know how to create a chart. Just go to straight and province, go to sales, choose the color chart. You now have a simple US chart which shows you the highest sales uh, uh, in various states. The darker the color, the higher the sales. The lighter the color, the lower the sales. You could customize it according to your requirements, but let's go it the same way. What I want to do is now duplicate this chart. See how do we do there. I request your attention here. This latitude field, I'll just drag and drop it once again, and you would see that two charts have been populated here. Right. Now in this marks window, as we did in the previous uh, session, the lower one would represent the this one, upper one would represent the upper chart, and the lower one would represent the lower chart. Let's work on the lower chart. What do I want to do here? I want to basically create a pie here, right? I chose from automatic to pie. You would see a big circle. Let me increase the size of this circle. You would see there are all gray spots appearing here because in a pie, I need to tell Tableau what value I want to convert into pie. Pie banana kiske liye hai. I will go and pick up product category and put it into colors. The way we create a pie chart. You see a pie has been created. Now in the size, we will pick up sales and put it into this size. Now what it does is the state with the highest sales comes up with the biggest pie because we have put sales in the size. We have put product category into colors. And now what we have to do is we need to click on this small arrow and say dual axis. I told Tableau to duplicate, to overlap the charts, and this is how we have come up with a 3D chart which shows up the division of sales by various states. The color in the background also represents the same thing. You could remove that in case you feel it's a repetition of analysis. The size of the pie chart is representing the amount of sales in that particular state, and the split of the pie chart is of course the split of the product category which is being sold in that state. So if I say California is the biggest state because the pie is the largest, my next question, the next question of any manager would be, which category is the highest there? I understand that the sales, this area is making me the highest sales, but which category is the highest? That you could simply move your mouse there and you could tell the resource person that furniture is the highest category in California. So very brilliant way of showcasing multiple analysis in one single chart. You all know how to create a pie chart. You all know how to create a map. But today we learned how to create an integrated pie and a map. I will repeat this once again quickly. We just need to double click on state and provinces and sales. A very simple way of how you have been creating a pie chart. Sorry, a map chart. We will duplicate this and convert it into two. We'll pick up the latitude field and just drag and drop it right next to the previous field. In the lower meter, lower button, I will remove say some colors and rather choose it to pie. I will introduce product category into the colors. It gets converted into a pie, and the product category legend is being displayed on the right hand side. I will pick up sales from measures and put it into size, and these pie charts are all of different sizes based on the sales. I will then click on the arrow here and say dual axis, and here we go. We can increase the size of the charts, and here is the analysis. Any questions here? Any point of query here? Do you think it's a good way of representation? Is it an intelligent way of representation? Great. I see only Rubina ma'am and Priya ma'am answering. It would be great if others also open up. Great. I see it's clear. No more questions from anybody. So let's move on. And I hope you're doing it simultaneously because uh, it's the best way of learning things. Uh, let's go and create a funnel chart. Now, how do we create something like this? Funnel charts are very useful when you want to show a drill down mechanism. Hey, this is my highest category, this is my lowest category, and eventually come up to the lowest one. You could also very easily, you know, uh, create a simple bar chart which shows the exact same results. But a funnel chart is visually more appealing. It's an advanced uh, presentation, as the name of the session says, advanced visual analytics. So it's a way wherein you could impress your audience, but we more or less end up showing the same analysis, which could be shown in a bar chart. But still, let's learn how to create a funnel chart. Uh, let's choose product subcategory. That's the field I'm referring to again and again. Let's choose sales, and let's create a simple bar chart sorted into descending orders. What I need to do is I need to create a calculated field, the one we have learned, and we say negative sales, and I say minus sales. That's it. I'm creating a field called negative sales. Wherever the sales is 100, this field will show me the sales as minus 100. So that, imagine a number line. The right hand would be positive, the left hand would be negative. What I will do is I will pick up this negative sales and put it in front of the positive sales so that it is a funnel chart. I say okay. I go to the measures, I pick up the negative sales, and I drag and drop it right on the left hand side of my total sales. You would see something like a funnel chart already coming up. Let's shape it further. I'll go to the size, I'll increase the size, and this becomes coordinated well. Let me just introduce a product category and put it into colors so that it's more visually appealing. And there you have the funnel chart. You can show, maybe in the first left hand side you can show the profits, on the right hand side you could show the sales by putting in the labels. So multiple fields of analysis by doing simple intelligent visualizations. We just created a calculated field called negative sales, and there we go. We have a funnel chart for our presentation, which somehow shows the same results as a simple bar chart. But the uses for this would be, you could show the same sales, profits, discounts in the same chart together, and of course, visually more appealing and more analytical, and you could impress your audience a little more than a simple bar graph. I will repeat this since I want all of you to learn. We will put up subcategory, we'll pick up sales, we'll create a simple bar graph, we'll sort it by descending order. We will pick up the negative sales calculate field, which all of you now know how to create. We'll drag and drop it on the left hand side of the sales. We'll just manage the size, we'll put the product category into colors. In the first chart, I can probably put profits and labels. In the second chart, I can probably put sales in the labels. So here I go, I have a funnel chart showing profits and sales in a drill down fashion. Uh, any queries, any questions here? Anybody? Or any views you have?
It stands out in all the static banners that are already on the
Great. Let's please share the recorded video. It's useful for research work. Negative sales means, sir, negative sales. So it actually means nothing, but for the purpose of this chart, I created this field. So wherever the value of sales would appear, a simultaneous negative value would come up in the negative sales. So let's say a particular business unit has a sales of 100 million. The negative sales would show the sales as a negative 100 million. So if I plot it on a number line, it would show, and if I plotted a number line, both of these positive and negative sales together, it would show from minus 100 to plus 100. And this is the way I will be able to create all product subcategory that eventually create this thing, a funnel chart out of it. So uh, in a very logical manner, negative sales means nothing. It is just for the purpose that we had to create a funnel chart, and hence we turned out the sales to be negative. I hope I answered your question, Jitendra sir. Why some of the values showing negative and some of the values positive? Sir, on this axis we have shown profits, and for this particular tables the value of profits are negative. We can always remove from the chart the profit figures, and if it is confusing we can just show the sales. It is not showing positive and negative value. It is just that we have interestingly wanted to show more and more here. We just had put the profit values on the text in the left hand side negative sales chart. Please share the PPT video of the session. I think the organizers, maybe Anand sir would be able to help you with the video of the session. From my previous experience of working with you, I understand that this is being recorded and the YouTube videos will be shared with the participants soon. Right? Okay, now let's move on. Let's learn how to create a word art. Now, what is a word art? Imagine a situation. Now, I come from corporate, and often when people leave the organization, when they move to another organizations for bigger, better opportunities, the employees are often asked to do an exit interview. Uh, Whatever they say in those exit interviews as to why they want to leave.
From the performance appraisal, we would know their performance. Siri, you are talking.
Yeah, is there any question? Anybody? Sorry, I didn't hear it clearly. Okay. Yeah, let's learn how to create a word art. Now, this is a thing which happens in the exit interviews of various organizations. When people leave, the human resources team would approach the leaving employees and ask them the reasons they're leaving. The responses are recorded, and eventually they're analyzed in a way so that we help improve our company. Uh, and the keywords are identified from that. Uh, let's take another example. You, in a college setup, you might ask students and faculty members to fill up various surveys. Surveys majority would have an objective questions where they want to tick the boxes and answer the queries asked. But sometimes there may be options which wherein they have to type the answers. And imagine there are 3,000, 5,000 students in a college. How would a person read those 5,000 responses and eventually come up to a conclusion? It's humanly impossible. We definitely need an analysis tool. So it's a sort of a text analytics wherein the user would want a platform, something like Tableau, to analyze the keywords and eventually form a word art so that we can conclude what is most important to the students and faculty members. So here, for this purpose, I created a field. This might not appear already in the raw data which you have. Motivation factor. I can share this file with you, and you will have it then yourself. Uh, Motivation factor. What is a motivation factor for you to stay in the organization? So let's learn how to create a word chart. Let us delete this one. There's a field called motivation factor. Let's pick that up. Very simple. I'll drag and drop it into text. You would see that all of the field becomes this way. From the automatic, I will choose text again. And in the measures, you would see a field called number of records. Number of records is a field which Tableau already gives you. You could drag and drop it and put it into size. Depending on the number of records, the number of times this particular word has appeared, the size would depend on that. So very clearly we can see that the development has appeared the maximum number of times So we can very clearly conclude that development is something which is most important to the employees of these organizations, and they're continuing to stay here because they want to develop their future, they want to develop their credentials, and hence they are a part of this organization. Another second most important thing to all of the people here in this organization is promotion. They want regular promotions. So from this word art, you can probably conclude what are the feelings, what are the sentiments, and hence I call this text analytics. Text analytics is way more beyond this. This is a very small example of how you can do something like this in Tableau. And now you can just play around. You can just put uh, motivation factored into colors, and this would probably increase the beauty, but the analysis would still remain the same. The development and promotion are the most important. And when you hover over this, you would see the number of records. Development has come up 1633 times. Promotions has come up 1560 times, and hence they're the highest. Work-life balance, on the other hand, is only 749 times. So this organization, people are ready to work more. People are ready to compromise on their personal schedules in order to get more development and more training and more promotions. So that's something which you can achieve using Tableau. That's the word art. I'll quickly repeat that for all of you. Just drag and drop this field, put it into text, convert the automatic to text, put up the number of records into the size, and there you go. Put up the motivation factors in colors. That's it. Very, very simple, effective, a five-step approach to creating a word art, a text analytics field in Tableau. Any questions, any queries here? I'm repeating the figures more than once because I realize some of you might not be speaking, but it could be an issue if you do not remember, uh, and some days later, then it's no use to put in those efforts. So very interesting way to create a text analytics. Thank you, Ravina ma'am. We'll now move to creating a donut chart. A donut chart is a simple, you know, amplified version of a pie chart, a next level version of a pie chart. Creating a donut chart could be a little tricky, but it still shows the same analysis as a pie chart. The reason I want to create this donut chart is because it's a little more rich. It's a little more impressive. It is something which people do not usually make it because within the word art, is it possible to change the font style? So font style you can change. You can go to this motivation, you can go to format, and here you have the font options. I'm by default using the font called Tableau Book, and here you can use any other font, and here you will be able to do this. You will have to change the font everywhere in the headers and panes, and only then you would be able to change this. Let's say this is the this is how it looks. Thank you, sir. I hope I answered your question.
Even like a which page you
Yeah.
bring it back.
Let's go to the donut chart. So let's learn how to create it. Uh, text direction. Ma'am, what do you mean by text direction? Vertical instead of horizontal. Uh, we can see. I haven't done because that won't be useful. Can you tell me, ma'am, why do you want to do that? I mean, what? How could it be useful? You will see various images on that type on net. Okay. So probably because there are other platforms, but I don't think we can do that in Tableau, but I can still see because I haven't done it myself. Let me just go to format. Ah, you can, I think, do that here. See, here we go. So ma'am, here we can change the direction as well. Just go to sheets and paints, and there you go. Yeah, great. Shall I move on to the donut chart, or do you have more queries? It's great that you're answering up. So I didn't know this direction thing, so I learned this from all of you. Thank you very much. I invite more questions and more queries so that we both learn from each other. Great, let's go ahead. Let's learn how to build a donut chart now. Let's go to view sheet. To create a donut chart, we'll have to create a simple pie chart. Just choose product categories, pick up sales, go to show me and choose a simple pie chart. Very simple pie chart, the way you would usually create a pie chart. What we need to do is now pick up your number of records. Now this is interesting. Drag and drop it here. You change it to average so that average number of records stays one, and if you put number of records, it will show you the three different values for furniture, office supplies, and technology. We don't want that to happen. We just converted it to one. What I will do is I will pick up number of records once again and convert it into average. The reason I'm trying to do is I want to create two charts exactly similar and then overlap those two and make the color of the lower one as white. So I'll go to the lower chart. I will decrease the size of this chart. I will decrease the size of this chart. I will then do a dual axis. You see that this is overlapping. I will right click on the axis and say synchronize axis. I will then change the color to white, and here you have your pie chart, which has now been converted into a donut chart. So it still shows the same analysis as a pie chart would show, but again, once we're learning the advanced visualizations, this is something which we need to learn. I see Darshana Patel now wants to ask something. Please go ahead. You want to repeat this, ma'am? I can't hear you. Okay, I'll just repeat for the convenience of everyone. We begin by creating a simple pie chart. We'll choose the product category. We'll choose sales. We'll go to show me. We'll create a simple pie chart. We'll go to number of records. We'll choose this and convert it into average. We will do this again, pick up number of records, do this as average. From the all, I'll remove the size from sales. In the lower chart, I will reduce the size of this chart, remove the product category from colors, make it dual axis, and then eventually synchronize axis so that only the outer chart is visible. In the colors, I would change the color from gray to white. So this is the pie chart that appears as a donut chart now. I hope all of you are clear since I repeated it again. Is this clear? Shall we move on? Great. I hope you're all practicing it simultaneously, and please keep on popping questions. We have two more visualizations to discuss. Uh, this one is interesting, and this is really important. Uh, it's called an area chart which shows you the pattern of a movement of a particular measure or a dimension over the period of time. Very important, let's say COVID cases, how have they increased? So if you see the COVID chart in India, it's going up. If you see the COVID chart in China, it goes down. If you see the share price movement, it will go up and down. So this kind of area chart usually becomes very important. Very simple to create. It's probably not even advanced visualization, but I wanted to discuss this with you. Just go and choose the order date. Just pick up the order date from the year, from the quarter. I'll just remove these two as we did earlier. We just have months, and we take sales, and I choose an area chart. So you see a chart has been created. Let's also introduce product subcategories or product category and put colors. You would see that the furniture sales have improved in the month of November. Overall, in December, it has fallen. So you would basically see the behavior of the various product categories in all the months of the year. So the lower 1 to 12 represent the months of the year. So this is one area chart which is very useful when it comes to understanding the pattern over the period of time. Very simple to create. I'll just quickly repeat. Uh, just pick up order date, take out the months from this, move years and move quarters. Choose sales or profits or discounts, whatever you want to show. Let's choose profits this time. Let's create an area chart from the show me tab, and then let's distribute by product category. Put product category into colors. So you could see that office supplies have been the highest selling, highest profit categories, probably in the month. Oh, sorry. Technology has been the highest profit in the last few months of the year. Uh, but furniture wasn't doing good till the first 8 months, but the last 2 months it picked up. So very useful kind of analysis could be done from here to understand how my company has been behaving, has been performing in the last year we are referring to. One last thing I want to share with you, this is the last visualization, which is an outlier analysis. Now, outlier analysis is something which is very useful when it comes to understanding what items are usually out of the total data scope. So let's say my discounts, Tableau would automatically pick up a range and say that all of these discounts are in well in range, but this particular discount which you're giving on this product category is way too much. Can you do something about it? Uh, Another example, if you see this chart which I have plotted, it's a product subcategory chart, and we have shown the average profits. All of the categories are well in range, but this average profit copies and facts is way too much high than the other product categories, other product subcategories. It clearly shows us that this is an outlier. It's a good thing that it's a profit, but if it was losses, it was an alarming thing. Let's learn how to create an outlier analysis. Very simple, choose product subcategory, choose average profits. The average profit is a field which we created using calculated field. Go to the show me tab and choose box and display plot, and that's it. So here you see Tableau has automatically created a range for you. Tableau thinks that these are all in range, but this particular item, let's put up into labels, product subcategories, copiers and faxes are way too much ahead, and let's do something about it. There are a lot of profits in this category, and we should probably focus more. Its profits is good, but for losses, we could have reported this to the management, to the executives, and let them take the right decisions. So that was outlier analysis, and that were majorly all the visualizations, 3D, 2D, multiple analysis, overlapping charts. I wanted to discuss with you, all of you, today. That concludes the content from my side. Now I would request all of you to take the queries and questions before we sign up for the day. Over to you, ma'am.
Participants, do you have any questions?
It would be great if you could maybe unmute the participants, some of them who want to ask questions rather than just typing,
Sure,
and we
sir.
could make this interactive.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes, sir. Sir, how many rows can be inserted in a Tableau? And if data set consists of how many rows maximum?
In Tableau,
Like in Excel, we have a sheet of around 10 lakh 40,000 rows can be inserted in an Excel. But if I am having a data set of 10 lakh or 50 lakh rows, then can we summarize in the Tableau or not?
the Tableau most of the times would not have a limit. I have personally worked on data sets which were probably 30, 40 lakhs field, and Tableau could accommodate that. The only problem which might come is Tableau's speed might go slow because the size of the raw data becomes heavier. But then there's a solution again. You could probably create a mirror image of the data and not create the raw data exactly in the file when you upload. So number of rows do not matter in Tableau. It can accommodate as much as it can, but the speed might get slow, and the solution to that is creating a mirror image and rather not uploading the data completely.
Okay. Okay, sir. Suppose I have a data sets of around sir 1 lakh. I make a data sets for around 1 lakh 60,000 rows. And suppose every time when I open the sheet in Tableau Public, I will have to refresh the sheet. Suppose I want to change my view. Suppose I did insert a new data in my sheet, Excel sheet, and after opening the Tableau Public, I will have to refresh each and every time. After that, the data visualization will back. Can we make so that after opening it will automatically refresh instead of putting a data set and right click on it and then refresh, and it will take 1 minute.
So basically, you will only have to refresh the Tableau data set only when there is a change in the raw data. If there is no change in the raw data, the Tableau file would appear as it is. You can do your analysis as many times, you can update it as much as you want. But in case there is a change in the raw data, then you will have to refresh the data so that the Tableau can probably accommodate the changes which you have made there. Only then you have to make the changes.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, yeah. Any more questions? It's wonderful you are thinking about these things and you're talking about various ideas. So it's great.
Is one more, sir? Is there any opportunity because I am also learning? I am also attending the FDP session which was given by you, and also I am learning from online resources also. Is there any opportunity where we can have a specialization in Tableau and we can apply for as a post as just you are working as a data analyst or business analytics?
So what is, so is there a what?
Is there any opportunity for us also? We can apply for such kind of opportunity, like you are working working as a data analyst. Can, because I am working as an assistant professor in an engineering college, so sometimes I am also have to give some data visualization part, because if we want to change our special, actually I am learning Tableau from a university, online university. So I got a certificate also from that university. Can you tell me any kind of processes for Tableau certification so that we can apply in a company also?
Sir, honestly, I would say that only Tableau, only a certification in Tableau might not be very sufficient to get into the data analytics field. To be a data analyst, we need to know a lot more. But if I say yes, you're in the right track. If you want to move to the corporate world, getting certifications is fine. But I right now in the company I work for, we are in the business of leadership hiring, leadership assessment. What we assess leaders on is the capability and the skill sets which they have. Certifications, yes, they do matter, but only if you have a sound proficiency in the field you're referring to. You have learned Tableau, congratulations. I would suggest to go on and learn Power BI, go on and learn SPSS, go on and learn SAS. Uh, Start thinking about entering about the field of coding, and then you are ready to move into the data analytics field. Once you enter, it's an ever evolving field. You end up learning Python, you end up learning R, you would see another language has come up. You kind of always have to remain updated and on your toes. And this is the reason people are doing this, and this is the only recipe for success in this field.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you for such an information.
Thank you, Nasser. Thank you for asking.
Participants, do you have any more questions? A big thank you for demonstrating the advanced visualization in simple steps. We can learn to make pie chart, funnel chart, word art for text analysis, donut chart, area chart was excellent. It was really interesting to learn and practice. Thank you for being with us today, sir.
Absolutely my pleasure, and thank you for being a great audience. I hope I was able to add some value, and I really hope you people learn this and eventually teach this to a wider audience. I really am thankful for this opportunity. Thank you, Anand. So thank you, faculty members, for having me here with all of you.
Thank you, sir.